Hi, I'm Ted Yoder. I grew up in a very musical family. My parents were singers, and so we, as kids, consequently were singers as well, and we sang a lot of four-part harmony stuff. My mom would have really liked to have seen me get into Southern gospel music. However, that was not my flavor. I became a piano player, and I wanted to be a rock and roll star. In the mid to late 80s, I found this artist by the name of Rich Mullins, and for about 4 years I played piano and sang his music. On one of his albums in the late 80s, I heard this sound that was totally different. This sound was a captivating, mesmerizing, get into your soul type of sound. Later on I found out it was the Hammered Dulcimer. So I got to see him play it in concert, and once I did, that bug bit me and it would not go away. I knew that that was the instrument I was meant to play. It's kind of funny, it took a really long time to find one because you couldn't exactly just go into your local guitar center and pick one up. So it took me about 10 years before I actually even saw one in person other than Rich Mullins playing it on stage. My wife and I got married in '97 and we moved down to Arkansas, and we had received some money from her parents as a wedding gift, and we heard about this little shop up in the mountains that had a hammered dulcimer for sale. And so instead of spending the money on a million other things that would make a newly wife happy, she looked at me and said, "Let's go get a hammered dulcimer." So we brought that little baby home, and it was just magic. I loved it. And of course, what I started to play on it were Rich Mullins songs that he played the hammered dulcimer on. And I played 3 or 4 Rich Mullins songs for like, I don't know, 10 years. And that was about all that I played. I didn't know what else you could do on it. I didn't hear anybody else. But I heard Rich Mullins, I heard him rocking it and killing it. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. So if you fast forward about another 10 years, the family and I were living out in the suburbs of Chicago, and we had a car accident in 2007, the spring of 2007, and it could have taken my life. I had some neck injuries, and I couldn't continue doing the work that I was doing, which was installing floors. So a job change was in order, and along with such a momentous calamity, if you will, you know, you have this internal taking stock. And so I was thinking, what would happen if I died? Would this be all that there was of me? I would have worked hard, I would have raised a family, I would have had money, and then I died. Was that really all that there was? So during my recovery time and that kind of introspective type taking stock phase, I decided that I didn't want to turn 50 and wonder if I still could have possibly done music as a career for a living. So I made a point of saying, okay, for this year, 2008, I'm going to touch my hammered dulcimer 15 minutes every day. Doesn't matter what time I get home, doesn't matter what I do, 15 minutes every day, at least. It's amazing what that kind of focus can do, because before that, I mean, I really only played like 3 or 4 songs and maybe noodled around with some different things. I was scared to play in front of people. And in less than 2 years after that, I won the national championship title in 2010. And I've been doing full-time music ever since. All of my albums up to this point have been totally instrumental, which I absolutely love doing instrumental music. One of my favorite things to do is to take a song that I grew up listening to, or that a lot of people know, and taking vocals, guitars, piano, drums, and mixing it up and yoderizing it and making it my own. But if you've seen me in the last 2 years in a live concert, you've probably heard me sing and play. And over these 2 years, I've had so many people requesting more of that. So this is my new journey. I'm going to start singing and playing with the hammered dulcimer more, because I love singing and I love playing the hammered dulcimer. And I would love for you to join me on this journey. So thanks so much for listening to this little video of who I am and how I got to where I am, and I hope to see you out on the road.